What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for the British Grand Prix round number 10 of the season. But before we jump into it guys, a big apology in this episode. I had a few various issues, and the first one you'll notice during practice and qualifying is for some reason the audio is gone. I don't know why, but my audio file seems to have corrupted, and I've basically got no sound for practice and qualifying. Also, you'll notice in the race, I thought I recorded the whole thing. It turns out of the 26 lap race, only 21 laps were recorded. So I do have the live commentary snippet of what happened, or the critical part in the closing stages. So I will play that for you guys. But essentially, there's basically 5 laps into the race missing in terms of footage, and then the entire audio from practice and qualifying. So I do apologise for that, guys, in advance, and that should be all resolved for the next episode in Hungary. So hope you guys can put up with it for this one episode, and hopefully we have no more of these issues in the coming future, because I believe this has only happened like once before, something like this, in the entirety of career mode so far, in like the 50 plus episodes I've done. So it's not too bad, to be fair. So overall, we're going to jump now into this race weekend, my home race, and I want to try and perform well and try and have a good race. And the practice sessions went really well, and getting pretty much all the targets purple except for the qualifying test. So a really good way to start the weekend. However, then we got met with the bad news that Kimi Räikkönen, the unstoppable Iceman himself, is our new rival. So we've got our work cut out to try and beat that guy in terms of our rivalry. But as you can see now, using the old engine components for practice and switching them out to new ones, and I'm actually debuting Power Unit 3 for this race because I do want to be competitive in my home race, you know, with my home fans. So I do want to be on the money. So I want to have all the tools and all the little gadgets and everything at my disposal, 100% basically of its ability. And you know, I want to have the car at max performance. So as you can see, jumping into Q1 now, and our first lap is very good, getting us into second place behind said new rival Kimi Räikkönen. By the end of the session, we will drop down to P5 with Ocon in second place. Then in Q2, just like always, opting for the slow compound tyre and go for the soft tyre. The question is, would that get us through into Q3? And that lap is very good indeed to get us P3, and that's actually confirmed that we are going to go through into Q3 in 4th place here. And the only man alongside Kimi Räikkönen to opt for the soft compound tyre. So different strategies there from pretty much everybody else except for myself and the Iceman. But now in Q3, as you can see here, this was my first attempt in the session, only good enough for P5, and I went up for one more lap. So we're going to focus on this lap now entirely. It's my best lap of the weekend. I do apologise for no audio, but we're going to try and focus on it anyway. So through turn 1, a little bit of a corner cut there, but absolutely flat out, and then flat out through turn 2. I've got a little bit of traffic here in the form of Roman Grosjean as we break on the 100-metre board for turn 3, and then flick it left for turn 4. And so far, off to a very good start on the lap here. Hopefully Grosjean gets out of the way on the Wellington straight here as we go through turn 5, flat out through the kink, onto said Wellington straight, DRS wide open, picking up a little bit of a slipstream off the Frenchman, and then into turn number 6, and you want to break just before the 50-metre board here, and make sure you pick up the second apex here, and then flick it right through the swooping right hand that comes just after that. And so far, the lap's off to a very good start here, about a 10th up on that previous best as we get a really good exit out of there, and now through Woodcut, absolutely flat out, down the old pit straight, and now into the old turn 1, Copse corner with these R&D upgrades now, absolutely flat out, no issues whatsoever. Use all the track as much as you can, and also scrub off the least amount of speed as possible, and then throw the car into Magnussen Beckett's flat out for the first 2, and then flat out at the start of the third one, with then a little lift, and then a couple of downshifts into Chapel, and then onto the hangar straight, DRS wide open. And so far, we're only a 10th off in the second sector, and on an improved effort so far. So this could be the lap here where we get a little bit higher up the grid as we now go into Stowe, 5th gear. Turning a little bit too early there, which did compromise my line slightly, so a little bit of a scruffy line through there, but still a good lap nonetheless as we now go into the Val chicane. 3rd gear, I'm running a little bit hot on the brakes, but we managed to recover it quite nicely, and then just basically floor it to the line. And what is the lap going to be? It's crossed the line, and it's going to be P5, no improvement on our position. So eventually, once the session ended, we were going to finish P5 anyway, and Ocon only managed P8. So Vettel sticks it on pole ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and Raikkonen in 3rd place, and Valtteri Bottas in P4. So a very mixed up grid there, and one that's going to make for a very interesting race tomorrow. So hopefully we can have a good result starting from P5 on the grid tomorrow in our home race. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into Sunday for round number 10 for the British Grand Prix. Right, so here we are then for the race at Silverstone for my home race and round 10 of the season, pretty much the halfway point of the calendar. And as you can see, it's all Ferrari front row with the Mercedes to my left, and we're promoted up into P4 after I believe another Mercedes got a penalty, or had a grid penalty, due to an engine component change. So that's going to promote us on to the second row of the grid. I can't tell which Mercedes it is exactly because I can't see the helmet on my left hand side, but either way, I'm looking forward to it, and that's going to give us a chance to actually attack the front row here, and if we get a good start, maybe get to the top 2 at least. So Let's hope we've made that a reality. Obviously, though, we are starting on the soft compound tire, so there will be a slight handicap for us going into the start of the race here in this initial launch phase, and also our pace in this opening stint. And in terms of, obviously, speaking about tyres, as you look at the race strategy, you can see that we are going for the one-stop here, and switching over to the mediums and trying to make the one-stop work, which will hopefully be a massive strategy benefit for us if we can pull it off, because that way we will cut out quite a lot of running on slower, on faster tyres that don't really last that well, especially the super soft doesn't seem to last a lot around here. So I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, hopefully we're gonna have a good race. And we're on an incredible run at the moment, and we've won 4 out of the last 5. So can we make it 5 out of the last 6? We'll have to wait and see. But without further ado, we're gonna jump straight into the race for round number 10 of the season. Right, here we go then on the grid. Hamilton's got a penalty from what I can see, so I've got to try and support the British fans here. 5 red lights, and it's away we go for the British Grand Prix. It's a pretty okay start actually from us, and Ricciardo's off to an absolute fly in the Red Bull. Also Verstappen's on my inside. I'm going to have the inside line through turn 1 though, and just hold on to the position from Daniel Ricciardo. Seb Vettel leads the way for Ferrari. We're going to go up the inside of Bottas, Raikkonen, and also I've just realised starting on that soft compound tyre, so I'm not the only one going for this different strategy, as I believe Raikkonen's going to try and follow me here, so he's going to be our competition in this race. Can I have the pace to match him and beat him? We'll have to wait and see and find out. Based off of practice and qualifying, that is going to be a struggle, but we are going to give it a go, as now Bottas is looking for a move here, but he hasn't got enough under braking to get past me. But Vettel leads the way on super soft tyres for Ferrari, and Raikkonen is not too far behind. But let's see now how this race unfolds, and let's see if our pace is any good around here, and see if we can challenge these guys. Okay, so far Seb seems to be struggling for pace here, and both of the Ferraris are actually battling it out for P1, so that's going to do me a massive favour. I'm pretty much neck and neck for pace with Sebastian Vettel. Also, Bottas obviously keeping me close company on the super soft tyres, but so far Seb can't switch on that tyres. We go fastest around Silverstone and then quickly beaten by Lewis Hamilton, but everyone setting fastest laps at the moment, and the lap time's tumbling. But Vettel, which is a crucial story here, struggling for pace on the super softs, which is very interesting. So maybe me and Kimi made the right call and going on to the better race tyre here, which is very interesting. But so far we've got some good pace here, and it looks like we could be challenging these guys, as we are going to be within the eyes of Raikkonen, so we should be safe from any Bottas attack down this straight. There goes Kimi on Seb once again into Stowe corner. They're going to go side by side once again, just like last lap. This time though, Kimi getting the upper hand on Vettel, and they're side by side into the final chicane here. Both of the Ferraris really dancing it out here for position. Raikkonen though seems to have the pace on the slower tyre, as do I, and this is very interesting to show that the super softs are not really a good race tyre, and also the tyre wear life isn't particularly great on that tyre anyway. But Lewis goes fastest, Raikkonen takes the race lead, and we're just sitting behind these two guys looking to possibly make a move here. I'm having a look on the braking there, but just no way through just yet. We are going to have DRS onto the Wellington straight, but so will Sebastian on Kimi Raikkonen, so it's a question of playing it safe, playing it, taking it easy, and playing it smart as well. It's a big part of obviously racing these guys. But Raikkonen's going to start pulling away now, and the question is, will Seb start to hold me up? Because if he does, I'm going to be looking to make the move on Sebastian and not let Raikkonen get away, as he's on the same strategy as me. So let's see what Seb's pace is like now. Raikkonen has taken the lead of the race. Yellow flag conditions. Something's happened with one of these cars around me. I don't know which one it is, but someone's had an issue, and it's further behind us who someone's had a problem, and it's let's have a look. It's Max Verstappen who's out of the race, so Verstappen with issues. Here comes Bottas though, looking for a move into turn 1. He's going to go for the move very tight here. I'm going to have to go around the outside, use all the track, if not a little bit more, and I've got a legal overtake on Valtteri, so we're going to have to let him back through here, which isn't ideal, and can see the position as we have a little bit of contact with Ricciardo coming back onto the track. But right now we're all over the place. We went from possibly getting second place down to P4 now behind Valtteri Bottas, so we've got to try and get ahead back on straight and try and focus on what's ahead of us here, and not let Bottas get away. Vettel is not particularly fast, so once he falls out of DRS from his teammate, he'll be quite a lot more vulnerable to overtake. But right now we've got to focus and get past Valtteri Bottas again. Right, so Ferraris are battling once again now. Vettel's really overtaken Raikkonen and has all of a sudden found some pace, and I think he's remembered he's on super soft tyres, because now he's absolutely on it. Meanwhile, we're keeping up with Bottas here. Pace is very similar across the top 5 at the moment, even top 6 with Ricciardo involved, so it's anyone's game at the moment. Obviously the strategy comes into in terms of the tyres, but still it is completely anyone's game, and anyone can win this race if they play the cards right, which is the unique thing about this race. So far so good for us. Right, Seb pits off for those super soft tyres, and it's about that time now people coming for their first stops off of the supers, so we'll keep an eye on these guys. But Hamilton going for the move into turn 1 here, he's made it work. I'm just going to let him go because he had the run. He sort of had me cornered in there. I wasn't going to hold around the outside, because to have the same thing that happened with me with Bottas, I'm not going to waste my time with that. So let Lewis go, we'll take some DRS, and we'll let those super soft runners go. We'll just keep on our soft compound tyres. Okay, interestingly, Bottas was trying to make a move on Raikkonen there. The Mercs now on super softs have found a little bit more pace, just like Vettel has, so maybe the super subs have a little bit of a second wind to them, a second life as such, and that's sort of bringing me also closer to the top 2 once again here. So like I said, it's anyone's game at the moment, and Vettel meanwhile is on the undercut strategy, so this is very interesting. Hamilton's going up the inside of Bottas into the old turn 1 here. Incredible action with the AI. They are very, very fasty around Silverstone today, but once again, this is giving me the opportunity to keep up with these guys, and who knows, maybe even past them. Like I said, I don't think we've got the pace on merit to be faster than Mercedes or Ferrari today. Like, based off of qualifying, I think where we are is where we are. However, we can give them a good race, and that's exactly what I'm doing here, and who knows, maybe we can pull something out of the bag. Now the question is, will any of the 2 super soft running Mercs come into the pit lane this lap? We'll have to wait and see, but it looks like Raikkonen is going to come into the pit lane, which is rather interesting, as does Bottas. But Kimi on them soft tyres, not being able to make them last, so that's very interesting strategy there from Kimi Raikkonen. So he's changing his strategy on the fly. Meanwhile, myself and Lewis stay out, so it's a British 1-2 at the moment, and the question is, can we keep up with Lewis Hamilton? He should be in probably at the end of this lap. Meanwhile, we're going to stay out a little bit longer on these tyres, so strategy wise now, I'm completely lost. Like, Raikkonen's completely thrown it all up in the air for me, so let's just see how this all unfolds now. Right, Lewis into the pit lane. I can tell you though, it's definitely hammer time, because he is on it, and I think he's hungry to try and get a result for the home fans after that penalty he had after qualifying. So I think me and Lewis are basically working together here to get a good result for the home fans. However, we are an opposing team, so I do want to try and finish ahead of him if possible, but here we go into lap 10 now. We're the sole survivor, so to speak, on the track at the moment, in this part at least, and we're in first place. Now the question is to just keep on turning laps at a consistent pace. Right, here we go. Then we're going to come into the pit lane for our first stop of the race. We've been lapping very consistently around the 1 minute 32 dead mark, but now we're going to come in for our first stop. Very good pit entry there, and Vettel's about 22 seconds down the road behind us, so he's going to be catching us fairly soon. However, there's about 30 plus to Ericsson behind, so the question is, could we rejoin possibly in third place if we're good enough in the pit stops? We'll have to wait and see, but there's going to have to be a good stop from the boys here to give us that chance of coming out ahead of everybody else. So here we go, 2.7 stop. Here comes Sebastian Vettel, who is the man who's coming around the final corner now. Raikkonen's gone to medium, so he's still maybe possibly sticking with that one-stop strategy, but that's going to be very, very long on those medium tyres if he's going to pull it off. But the question is, I think we might have made the overcut work here, because my pace has been very good and Raikkonen is nowhere to be seen. So here we go. Are we going to rejoin in second place? Yes, we are. So we've comfortably rejoined on medium tyres by overcutting everybody and avoiding the traffic essentially on fresh medium. So right now we've got a nice easy run to the finish line on these tyres. We just got to try and keep the tyres in good temperature, keep them in good nick, not wear them out too badly while setting some consistent lap times, which sounds easier than what it actually is. And then we've got that huge train of cars behind us on the mini-map being led by Raikkonen, but now we've got to try and find pace and try and keep Raikkonen at bay at least outside of a second. So let's get our head down, let's find some pace, and let's try and do exactly that. Okay, so Seb's in the pit lane, so that's going to give us first place, and a net first place at that. Also, got to keep an eye on Raikkonen and those behind him, because there is a possibility that those guys may stop again. It's not completely set in stone that they will go to the end on those tyres. Also, Lewis there setting the pace, but even though they're on mediums, I think Bottas may well go to the end, but I'm not convinced Raikkonen will, because he came in so early. Then again, I think Bottas came in on the same lap, I think, if I remember correctly, so who knows. I don't think they will get to the end, because it is a bit of a stretch, but you never know with this game. Also, the AI do things that you don't normally do, so we'll keep an eye on it. But so far they are slightly faster than me, so I'm pushing up my limit on standard mix, but they are catching me bit by bit. Oh, yellow flag. I think Raikkonen's had an issue, and the guy just came on the radio saying that Raikkonen's got an issue with his car, and I think Raikkonen is out of the race unless something, unless he makes a recover. But yes, safety car enabled, enabled, and should I say deployed? That's the right word. Bloody hell! And there we go. It's a VSC actually, so never mind. Nothing's been deployed. It's just a VSC. But Raikkonen out of the race, I think, or if not, he's going very slowly. But either way, we're looking pretty good at the moment. We've got the gap over Bottas and Hamilton. Obviously, we're on the medium tyres, but basically we're going to be racing 2 Mercs until the end of the Grand Prix. So let's get our foot down here. We've got the VSC ending. We've lost a lot of time here, so I've probably got that quite badly calculated, which has put the Mercedes right on the back of me here. But either way, let's get a hammer down here. We've got Bottas on our tail, also Lewis Hamilton, but I welcome the challenge. I'm ready for it, because I want a piece of the Mercedes and I want to take it home with me to the factory. So let's try and have a good little battle here, just like the last race in Austria, but this time on equal tyres. So let's have it and let's see what they got. So far pace is good, matching pretty much my personal best. Bottas can't really get close enough to make an attempt on me, even with DRS, and also the same applies to Hamilton. So we're controlling the race at the moment on these tyres basically, and the Mercs are not really in with the shot to make a move, not even into the braking zones after long straights, which means I've still got plenty of tyres left, both for acceleration and also brake zones. So far we're controlling this rather nicely. However, Sebastian Vettel's about to join the party, and he's right behind the two Mercedes cars. Okay, so I've been mistaken. It's not actually Vettel who's behind the Mercedes, it's Raikkonen who's recovered. So he obviously didn't suffer too much issues. It was just a small little issue, and he's managed to recover and get going again because he's right behind the two Mercedes cars. So Kimi's still back in this fight here. Okay, so I've got just over 1 lap of rich mix in terms of on the MFD. So we're going to run this. Hopefully, I should be able to get about 3 laps of full rich mix running out of it. So we're going to use that now to try and stretch these 3 guys behind me a little bit, and also hope that if I stretch away, hopefully they'll start to battle between themselves and cost themselves a little bit of time. That's the hope anyway. So it's time for me to get the hammer down now, use my rich mixture, and try and race away from these guys a little bit. Also, it turns out that Ferrari is Raikkonen, but he's actually a lap down. So Raikkonen is in the mix, but he's an entire lap down. So he won't be battling us anytime soon because he just had to get past Hamilton and then let him straight back through again. So Raikkonen won't be scoring any points today, which is absolutely incredible for me to say. Personal best, still pushing. I think I've got a little bit more in the tank. Lewis is losing time because of Raikkonen trying to unlap himself, which is going to basically make it me versus Bottas for the race win. Alright, on to the last lap now. I'm out of rich mix, so I'm literally running it in standard. I'm 0.03, so this could be the one here. Here comes Bottas. He's going to make the move. I'm going to squeeze him as much as I can into Cops. He's going to run deep. I'm going to switch right back underneath him. Front wing damage, which isn't good. And Bottas is going to give me a good old squeeze. We're going to Maggotts and Beckett's here. Do we hold on? Bottas goes around the outside. I'm going to have some severe front wing downforce loss here. And I think I might have just let this race win slip from me in the closing embers. Let's see if we can try and make a move on Hamilton here. Open up the DRS on Lewis. Raikkonen's right behind me here. We're going to get the run on Hamilton. We're going to pull to the inside. Front wing damage. Also, Raikkonen's on my inside as well. Oh my days. It's so close. Oh no. Ooh. Right, okay. Raikkonen's got a pass. Blue flag conditions here. Lewis is still on my inside. There's Raikkonen. I've lost another bit of front wing. This is so close. Raikkonen, please, honestly, stop it, man. Okay, I think we've got it. We're going to nurse the car home in second place with a plank of wood. But oh my god. Woo. Right, so looking at the final race results, Bottas wins the British Grand Prix ahead of myself and Lewis Hamilton. Then Sebastian Vettel brings it home in 4th place for Scuderia Ferrari. Then Ricciardo in P5. Carlos Sainz in an incredible P6 from P13 on the grid there for Toro Rosso on the one-stop strategy. Esteban Ocon in P7 there on 2 stops there for Force India. So not too shabby there doing my teammate with an extra stop. Also, Julian Palmer, Kvyat and Stroll all scoring points there from low positions. So very good results for them. Also, Massa and Hulkenberg recovering positions. But low down the order, Verstappen, the major DNF of the race, with Raikkonen finishing 1 lap down, and they will be pretty disappointed with that one. But in terms of the driver standings after that race, as you can see, I extend my lead to 30 points. Meanwhile, Valtteri Bottas overtakes Esteban Ocon in the Drivers' Championship. But overall, it's looking very tasty, and I think it's anyone's game at the moment. And we're on an incredible run at the minute, and that's our second place in a row after the last race. Sorry, that's our second place in 3 races after Baku, and winning the last race. But still, 6 podiums in a row, or 6 top 2 finishes in a row. So we're on an absolute mad streak at the moment. But now we look at the constructors, you can see that we're only 31 points behind Ferrari now as a team. So could we win it all? Could we win the drivers? Could we win the constructors? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. But we're now going to jump into the laptop and see how things shape up after that race. Right, so looking at the laptop, as you can see, unfortunately, we are just short of the fuel technology, the power upgrade here. So this is going to take 2 weeks to develop, so this would have arrived for Spa if I'd purchased it now, but I'm 30 points short. So we're going to hold off on that for now, and we'll get that in the next race, I think. Or we could just get the one that failed on us, to be honest. I think I might go for this. Yeah, okay, I'm going to get this one now, and then that will arrive for Hungary. And also, we're going to purchase a few reliability upgrades or durability ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one for the I think we're going to go for what wears the most. So in this case, we're going to go for the control electronics. They get a pretty big battering, to be fair, but then again, it's not that important. Right, we're going to go for that, and then we'll save the other 370 for obviously when we stack those points up. But also, you would have seen in the bottom right, as you can see, we've got an invitational event, which we will, I will do. I won't record it for the episode, but just so you know, I am still doing them behind the scenes, so you guys know. But I'm going to jump into the event now. But in terms of stuff on the laptop, I turned down obviously the contract offers because we want to try and get the job done with Force India, as we all want to, I think, here in this career mode. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to try and see if we can pull it off and try and win the drivers and constructors with Force India. But other than that, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this episode. And if you have enjoyed it, then slap a like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here for future F1 content. And also, check out the videos on screen right now if you haven't done so already. Also, check out GTA Mega in the links down below, down in the description. And if you do want to get a little discount of 5%, then use the code TOM97 at checkout. And that'll give you 5% off your order. But now on that, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.